Hello. Oh, let me get things in motion here. Or at the very least, in some type of order. Hello and welcome. I haven't posted in what, a week and a half, and I'm overdue. So I thought I'd better get caught up with you and show you what I've been working on. Thought I would sit and maybe prepare some hexagons for my English paper piecing project that I haven't worked on in it's been a long while. And I thought I'd sit and talk with you about it and also show you my needle book that I made. And last time I tried this, it didn't work out real well. And I talked about the do's and don'ts of what to do, what not to do with the needle book, and I ended up with not having a usable needle book. So I'm going to talk about this one for you. Welcome. My name is Angela Davis and I'm the 4M quilter. And the first time I tried to make a needle book, I made the center too thick. I made too many layers for the needles and the straight pins, and it was too difficult to close. So I decided to sit down and start sewing. So I had this beautiful Asian inspired fabric. In my scrap bin. So I thought, well, I'll start with that. And then I had this gold, and it wasn't quite wide enough in this direction, so I added a strip of red. And I added a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. So a pocket here, and a narrow pocket here. So basically, the scissors I have are too big. I need to invest in another pair of small scissors, snip scissors, for this. In here, I have a piece of lace, and I have some embroidery needles and some larger needles for doing large stitching. And then in the middle, I have the little flip felt. Or I don't know if this is felt, or maybe I just grabbed flannel. That's it. It closes up with a piece of ribbon. Very simple. I think I tried to do that last time, but I think I was just being too elaborate with it, and the middle was too large. Just added some lace on the top and the bottom. That's it. Little needle book. So now, and that was basically, I think, how wide is this? Let's see. Okay, I think it's 3.5 inches this way cut. And, okay, so 3.5 inches cut this way, 9.5 inches cut this way. Very small, just in a single fold. And I did line it in between the back and the inner lining with one piece of scrap batting. And then this inner piece of fabric here, this gold strip, I just hemmed it and then folded it up, stitched it down the middle to give a pocket here and a pocket here. That's it. That's all I did. And I just did a red border across the top because once I made my fold for the pockets, it wasn't quite wide enough. That's all I did. And then I just used a piece of scrap lace to cover up the raw edges on both long sides. And then I had some scrap of the gold on the inside I did on either end. And then I stitched the ribbon to the outside. So it's very, very basic. And I think I did. Right where the seam is, where the gold and the red is, I think I stitched all along in the ditch just to give a little bit of definition on the outside. That's it. So all I need is another pair of small scissors, and then the ribbon is just a plain piece of scrap ribbon that I had in black. Very plain. I even made a little mistake on this side. The lace is folded up a little bit here instead of laying flat. So I might have to take that stitch out and adjust that a little bit. But very simple. Very simple. It's just a one-fold needle book. Very simple. So what I'm doing here is I'm working on EPP, and I have my blue strip here. And let me put the camera down so you can see. Okay. Get this stuck on here. Well, okay. Just gonna go on those edges like that. Gonna fold it down. Press. Gonna fold it down and press. There we go. Get that going. Put a little bit more on this other one here. Okay. Keep those pressed. I'm going to put those on top of one another. And I'm just going to set those over here. I'm going to do another one. Okay, got that glue in place. Just trim. There. We're just gonna there's the first side, the second side, third side. Let's get that corner. Corners are sometimes hard to stick. Sometimes you just gotta do a little extra in the corners. Okay. Keep that little press. This on top. There's 3. Been also working on some little eyeglass cases for my coworker who ordered some from me. They're just lined. A little bit of nice cotton fabric. These both came out a little small. I have since adjusted them to be about a 1/2 inch wider and about a good generous 1/2 inch longer. These were the ones that came out kind of small, but I made several for my coworker who wanted them, and she really liked them. So I'm going to be making more and see if I can't sell any. It's the holidays are going to creep up on us quickly. And those would be nice little stocking stuffers, you know? Okay, now this side's a little narrow here. Wonder if I can just trim that. Let me do that side first, since it's a little narrow. Get that down there real nice. There we go. Let's get this side. And then this side. There we go. Oops. Got a side that came a little undone. Okay. Is that? That should be 4. Yes, 4. Okay. So I've been working on those eyeglass cases, and I've been behind the scenes cutting fabric to make tote bags for gifts, and I might do a craft show this year. I haven't done a craft show in a few years, but I'm thinking about doing a craft show this year, and I'm gonna concentrate on tote bags, little coin purses, and those cloth eyeglasses. I think those would be nice little gifts for people. Little tote bags for, like, if you're going to, you know, a book club, or if you want to bring a tote bag to work so you can read on your lunch or go to a religious study. So that's what I've been sort of thinking. And I've been cutting different fabric in different sizes to prep. So I'm trying to cut and prep as much as I can before I actually sit down and sew. Oops, dog ear there. Just folding this down. Our weather here in Ohio has finally cooled down. It's still, we've had some days where it still has been quite warm. High 70s, low 80s, but nothing like what we had before. So I'm okay with that. Leaves are turning and falling. Definitely. We're definitely getting our fall weather. So, but it is unseasonably warm still, and but not as hot as it has been. Not near as hot as it was before. So I'm quite content. Let me get some water. So I'm quite content with the way the weather has been. Okay. Wipe that up. Use this for my drink because my glass is sweating. Okay, so since I have the camera down, let me show you. I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out of this fabric right here, okay? And this is, if I'm not mistaken, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches by, I believe, by 15 inches. So this is 8 inches by 15 inches. And this, I've already pre-cut some. I'm going to be making little pouches that I'm going to line with just cotton muslin. And I'll probably also do some iron-on interfacing to make it a little bit stiffer. Obviously, it won't have the raw edges. Just do a little button, and it'll be a little pouch. You can use it for makeup. You can use it for jewelry, you know, as a travel bag. You can use it for personal products. You know, just a number of different things. And it'll be small enough you can throw it in your purse. And then I'm also making little tote bags, this size. And this is, I believe, 9 inches by 20. And I'm just gonna fold it in half to make the actual bag. It's gonna be a smaller bag. I'll make a handle to match. It's gonna be lined. And this is going to be a single book bag. So it would fit a book about this size right here. And I thought these would be nice little gifts to give for the holidays. It's a small single book bag. And so let's say you know, carry a book with you to work, you read it on your lunch break. When you go for your walks and you have a special park where you like to sit and read, you go to the library, so on and so forth. Give it to a child to bring their little books to the library when they exchange their books out. That would be perfect for small little children's books. And then I'm also going to be doing the larger tote bags as well, that are going to be a few inches wider and a few inches longer, to accommodate larger items. But I thought this one's nice, you know, for that single book or a religious book when you go do your studying. So that's what I've been working on, just cutting the fabric and prepping it. So I'm gonna sit here and sew while I talk. There we go. Okay, now when you push the needle through, we're just picking up the edge of the fold on both of those. And when I push through, I'm pulling it and I'm holding onto that thread pretty tightly. And I'm going over the top and then starting the next one. So I'm pulling and I'm holding onto that thread pretty tightly. And Emma Jones from the Vintage Sewing Box, I watch her videos on EPP. She has some wonderful tutorials. And I'm using whatever thread I have, you know, in my machine or in my sewing roll, but she has recommendations on different types of thread that she likes for her EPP. She does a lot more handwork than I do. Her name's Emma Jones with the Vintage Sewing Box. Now when I get to the end, I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. Do it one more time. And I'm gonna snip it, okay? Now, that's nice and tight, okay? Nice and tight, okay? Now, I'm going to grab the next one and I'm gonna go here, okay? And I'm gonna work from here to here, all right? So I'm gonna make a knot. So I'm gonna lay the thread over the needle and I'm gonna pinch it together and I'm gonna wrap it 3 times, 2, 3. Gonna pinch that wrap and I'm gonna pull that all the way down and it makes a little knot on the end right there, okay? Now I'm gonna pick this up and I'm holding it, okay, where I want to start. And I'm starting in the corner and I'm gonna grab the fold in the corner. I'm gonna pull it through once and I'm gonna go through a second time and I'm going to knot this. Okay, I'm going to go through it one more time. Okay, now I'm getting pretty close to the previous stitch. It's pretty close. It's less than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, but I'm just going and I'm picking up the fold on both the yellow and the blue, and when I pull that needle, I'm really holding on tight, and I'm grabbing that thread. And like I said, Emma Jones with the Vintage Sewing Box has a wonderful tutorial. She does a lot of EPP. And she does hexagons, she does diamonds, she does triangles. She does a lot. I'm just going to keep going. And if you accidentally pick up a little bit of that paper, that's okay too. Okay, and I'm grabbing that thread, I'm holding on to it really tight. Okay, I'm using my fingers to pinch that seam together. I'm gonna get all the way to the corner. And I'm going to go into my loop to secure it, and I'm going to do it one more time. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to snip the thread. Okay, and that's pretty tight, nice and tight. Those are, okay? Now, I like to go, everybody does it differently. Some people will do this seam and then start the next round, the next piece on the round. I like to get all mine attached to the middle and then do the seams on the outside. Okay. See if I can thread this needle this time. I did it. Okay, now I am going to run it through some wax because I feel as though I could really use that right now. And I go through it about 3 times. Okay. I'm gonna get a drink of my water. Okay. It is Saturday evening, and yesterday was my mother's birthday. 84. It's wonderful. Gonna go through that corner one more time. I'm gonna do a secure loop. Okay, now, sometimes it's hard when you get to the point where you have other shapes in the other rows. So I pinch where I can. And when I go through and I start the next stitch, my thread is going over the top. And I'm just going into that fold of both of those folds of the yellow and the blue. I hope you can see this. So yeah, it was my mother's birthday. We didn't get together. She doesn't want to fuss. So we're gonna go over there tomorrow and cook. And just hang out. I might buy her a couple scratch-offs, you know? She likes those. Okay, I'm getting to the end. Or rather, I'm getting to that corner, that inside corner. I'm just gonna fold this back. Not gonna hurt anything. Okay, now I want to make sure I'm really in that corner. So I'm just repositioning my hands. And now I'm gonna go into that loop to secure it. There we go. I usually do 2 rows with 1 thread. There. See? That's not bad. That's not bad. Get another drink. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more. Yes, I can do one more. So what I've been doing is I've been getting up very early before work, and I'm usually out of bed by, I'm awake by about 4:30, sometimes 4, and I've been laying in bed and relaxing, sometimes reading a little bit, sometimes browsing my phone for ideas, you know. And then I'll come in the sewing room about 5:30, sew for an hour, and then go back to bed for another hour, and then wake up and get ready for work. And I did that quite a couple of days this past week. And I finished about a dozen of the little cloth eyeglass cases, and my coworker bought 8 of them, and I'm going to work on it again tomorrow because I'm going to be cutting some different fabric. I want to do a little bit more fall colors for her, and then I will start making some of the cloth tote bags, the small ones, for the little book tote bags, and to get ready for a craft show. Haven't done a craft show, it's been a few years. And I just want to focus on tote bags, the cloth eyeglass cases, and little pouches. Either pouches with buttons or snaps or zippers. Little pouches that, you know, you can put coins in, credit cards, ID, money, lipstick, you know, personal products, things of that nature. And I also have 3 baby quilts that I've been working on for a coworker for quite a few weeks now, and I'm nowhere near done. I need to really buckle down and work on those. She doesn't have a deadline. She just said whenever they're done, they're done. But I'd like to really, this coming week, really concentrate on getting those done. 2 of the quilt tops are done. One of them, I'm still working on the squares. And once the squares are done, you know, obviously I'll put it together in the quilt top. And I'm thinking about not putting borders on them. I'm thinking about, since they're a toddler size quilts, I'm thinking about doing the pillowcase method where I layer the batting and then the quilt top and back, right sides together, stitch all the way around to leave a hole. And then you trim the outside and then turn it right side out. And then close up that hole and then do the quilting. Thinking about doing it that way. I've done small quilts that way before. It works out very well for me. 2 more. I'm getting tired. Had a busy day today. With that being said, I am going to close this up. And this was my very first sewing roll that I made. Here, let me show you. Huswith is the old word for it. This was the very first one I made. The bottom has the big needle pouch, a pocket, needle book, scissors, zipper pouch. I really like the zipper pouch. And then it just folds up. And then I just wrap it like this. And I'll leave a link in the description box for that video. I have a couple videos where I do these. Sewing rolls, huswith is the old term for it. Here's another one that I made in the floral. And then here's another one. This is my most recent one that I made. And this is the one that I fashioned my pattern after. I have a pattern on my Etsy site if you want to make one. And this one, I have a pocket here, a little pin cushion, a needle book, a pocket, a scissor pouch, and then a zipper pouch. And this one is the one that I fashioned my pattern after. And then it just folds up like that. And then it just wraps like this. Like that. They're wonderful. They're a lot of fun to make. They're great to give as gifts. And where's my needle book? Oh. And now that I've redone my needle book so that it makes sense and it's not too thick, the needle book is just small. A little bit of needles here. I have a little spot right here. I could put a little seam ripper in there, and then another pouch where I could put some thread, and that's it. And then it rolls, and then it ties up. I'm definitely going to make more of these. These were just this. Now that I've got it down pat, the first one I tried to make, and I'll put the video below, I made it way too thick in the middle and it wasn't closing. Just didn't work. This one does. This one does. And had a lot of fun with this. So this one is just a little needle book, nothing fancy. And it just ties, it folds, it just folds once. There. And then I need an extra pair of little scissors to put in there. Just a little needle book. So yeah, so lots of fun, lots of fun. And put that pin back. And let me put my needle threader back because I need that. Because the older I get, the harder it is to thread a needle. It really is. Well, with that being said, I put away my needle threader. I'm gonna go put my feet up. Well, thank you so much for joining me for just a little bit of sit and sew while I do a little bit of English paper piecing. Hope you have a good evening. And as I'm working on those little book pouches, the little book totes, I'll keep you updated and keep you updated on the 3 baby quilts that I'm working on for my coworker. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining me. My name's Angela Davis, and I'm the Foreign Quilter. Bye.